switch it up like that.
Switch it up, speaker box blast, 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 blast.
Switch it up like that.
Switch it up, speaker box blast, go, 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 go.
Alright, you guys, this is part 2, episode 4 of the Teens with Lupus Podcast. Yay! Okay. So, like I said in part 1, this week's topic is support outside of your lupus support outside of your family. So, in the third episode, I talked more about friends at school, and today we'll be talking about significant others. Yay! Right? Okay. So I conducted a series of interviews. I did not actually, I didn't record them. I probably should have, so next time, maybe I should record the interviews, but, guess we didn't really talk. I just sent them questions and had them answered, but, so I conducted a series of interviews and gave four people the same. I gave 4 people the same situation. So basically, it was, what would you do? Oh my gosh. Let me start over. Sorry. So I conducted 4 interviews with 4 different people, and I gave them all different situations, and told them just to and then told them basically just to how they would react or what would they say, things like that. So, you give them 4 questions. They're all the same questions. So first question was, the situation was, we've been dating for 3 months, and I decide to tell you that I have lupus, right? So I tell you I have lupus. How do you react? So that was the first question. The second question was, the second question, let me check, second question, I probably should have had these pulled up before I started. Okay, pretty sure the second question was, if I told you at the beginning of, what if I had told you at the beginning of the relationship, how would you react? That was the second question. Third question was, if I was in the hospital for a month, would you feel really worried, like I was still in the ER, or would you end up stop checking up on me, like fight or flight, right? So sometimes people, they're there for the first couple weeks, but then after they just kind of stop checking on you because they're like, oh, nothing's going to change, or things like that, So that was the second question. Third question was, if our relationship were to go on and we ended up living with each other, what would you do? Well, basically, how would you deal with my disease if we were living with each other? So that was the fourth question. So the first person I interviewed, her name is Kenzie. I love you, Kenzie. The first person I interviewed was Kenzie, and she said a couple things. I met Kenzie at Envision PDX. Her questions were a little bit different, but they were all basically the same. So well, her first question was, how did she react when I first told her that I had lupus? And, she said she didn't, since she didn't know what it was, she didn't know how serious it was, and so she ended up doing research behind my back, which usually happens anyway. So she realized how serious it was. She did research, and at first she said she felt sad, but then she realized that she didn't really need to pity me, and that she didn't want me to feel like I had to feel different around her, which is really cool because Kenzie, she works in hospitals too, so she does understand a little more, like how, sick people don't really want to be treated like sick people, right? So, yep, that was her answer to the first question. And she said if I would have asked her at the beginning, or like if I told her later in our relationship, then she said it would be harder for her to focus on the objective, since her emotions would probably be clouding her judgment more. She said it probably would take her longer to realize that she didn't have to pity me at all. So, yeah, which was an interesting answer, but yeah, I like her being honest. And then, whether she'd be worried about me in the ER or not, she said she actually had the longest, probably most intelligent answers out of everyone I asked. How much time I got left? 8 minutes? Crap. So this might have to be broken up into a third part, because I have more to say. Yes. But basically, she said that she'd be super worried, and she'd want what I would want, right? So if I wanted her to come in and see me, then, she would come in and see me. And if she knows that I don't want a lot of people coming in there to see me, then she probably wouldn't come, or she would ask me. But she wouldn't stay in contact with me. Things like that. And going down. Alright. And so, with the last question, if we ended up living together, how would she deal with my condition on a daily basis? And she said that it depends on what I need, and she would do her best to make sure that I had what I need, and that I wasn't really coping, I was living, and things like that. So, I think all her answers were pretty straightforward. But I do really like the way that she would treat me, that she was being honest the whole time, and yeah, so that's one person I probably would want to live with. Asked one of my other friends, and he didn't say, I couldn't say his name, but I'm not going to say his name because, confidentiality. His answer to the first question was that he would be upset with me if I told him after 3 months. And true. So yeah, he didn't really say why. He just said that he would prefer me to tell him at the beginning. I'm guessing because it's a serious condition, and he would be worried about me. Which brings us to question 2. He said yes, he would feel worried and try his best to check on me. And he said for the last one that if we lived together that he would not know. And he didn't even finish answering that question. I just was like, okay. So I told him, give him a little insight on when I live with on a daily basis. And he was just kind of like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, wow. Well, he didn't answer that. He said, for the last one that if we lived together that he would not know. And he didn't even finish answering that question. I just was like, okay. So I told him, give him a little insight on when I live with on a daily basis, and he was just kind of like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, wow, well, he didn't answer that. one of my other friends, and his answers were totally amazing. I don't even know how this kind of person exists. Like, bro, he's so amazing. So his answers were so sweet. So the first one, I told him after 3 months, he said that our relationship wouldn't change. If I told him at the beginning of our relationship, he said the relationship wouldn't change. The second question, if I was in the hospital for a long time, he said that yes, he'd be super worried about me. His worry level would not go down. And for the third one, for the last one, if we lived together, he said that he would do whatever is necessary to help me live with my condition. So that was, he's super duper sweet about it. And I was like, wow. It almost made me cry how sweet he was being. Alright, so, oh shoot. So, yeah, like 4 minutes. I think I might be able to fit it in. Might not get the ending, but I might have to cut it off. Try to summarize. So, last person I asked, his name is Jared. I might tag him in this one, but his name is Jared, and I asked him the same series of questions. I'm probably rambling a lot. I might not even have enough time to finish this. So, basically, how I sum it up is that it would be difficult for him if he would have told me, because he thinks 3 months isn't that long, which I guess isn't, but long enough, right? So, he's sure, blah, blah, blah. Said that he couldn't, one of the things he says that he couldn't be a reliable person, the reliable person that I need in my life. And he said if we've been dating longer, then it might be different because he doesn't know how he feels. And for the second question, if I was in the hospital for a month, he said that he would still be super duper worried about me the whole time. And then, last question, again, it's more like an I'm not sure, because I don't know what you live with on a daily basis, but he would have to, then he would do whatever's basically necessary, I think. Yep, basically that's what he said, to sum it up. So, those are my interviews. I might have to do that better next time and plan it and summarize it. But those are the 4 people I interviewed. So, those 4 different insights, very different answers as well. If you have any questions, please comment, because I know sometimes when I talk, I don't make any sense at all. So make sure you comment and tell me what I need to do better, because I know that I'm not doing this very well and I probably need to fix it. But you know what? I'm me, right? So that's why I'm asking you to comment and tell me what I need to do better. So yeah, I guess those were examples of significant others helping you with your condition. I want to know about your significant other, if you have one, how they help you with your condition, things like that. If you don't want me to say anything on here, make sure you private message me and things like that. Please subscribe, like my YouTube page, like my Facebook page, and yeah, see you next time.
Switch it up like that.
Switch it up, Spreaker box blast.